as I said, this is the tightest commodity fundamentals that we look at across every commodity globally. The story hasn't changed. In fact, the story just continues to get more supportive for nuclear. If you believe that the world is going to continue to progress towards decarbonisation, electrification, and now the added element of energy security, then nuclear power will continue to be supported in the countries that have it, and some countries will continue to expand it. That just continues to make the thesis even tighter. The sector has been completely obliterated with broader markets in the last 8 weeks. Stocks that were pricing a $70 uranium price are now pricing something like a $30 to $35 price. Nothing's changed with those companies. Nothing's changed with the thesis. The reality is, it is a small and volatile sector, and it will whip around. But, I ask myself, do I see the uranium price back in the 30s again? And the answer is no, I don't. You can never rule silly moves out, but in the longer term, I think this continues to move higher. I also think this is the beginning of a multi-decade trend, where as we progress through this decade, some of the things we've touched on before, you're getting a proven technology in a more dispatchable format, being small modular reactors, that will continue that demand trajectory in a way that nobody is modelling right now. Or maybe there's one or two of my peers that are, but you look back on that implementation and compare it to, say, battery electric vehicles 5 years ago. You could sort of have a guess at what that penetration was going to look like 5 years ago, but then government policy changed and suddenly that trajectory went warm and took off, and was supported to lithium prices and whatever else. So, you've got this great unknown where you can't really model the demand because it's it's going to be one of those things that just moves. Every project that I see coming to market is going to be required. So every time you see a restart project or a greenfields coming to market, it's needed pounds. It's not going to change materially that thesis. I think you'll see, as we've got a history of 10 years ago where we had a really good bull market. There will be a lot of other things come to the market that will be noisy and distracting, and there will be a few diamonds in the rough there. But stick to your knitting, stick to the things that would have continued to work in the last cycle had Fukushima not stopped development of most of those projects. You'll continue to see consolidation as well. One of the things in the last cycle as well was, many companies got gobbled up by other companies. Other players came in from left field and entered into the sector. That will continue as well. As for the some of the things that I think hopefully we've touched on, the negatives and talked around those and talked to those. But as I said, I continue to think that this thesis will grow. It'll be a bumpy ride because it's a small sector, but it should benefit those who are in the sector.